Hello everyone, I'm Manav and today we are going to do the practical lab of one of the most important vulnerabilities over the web, that is XSS or cross-site scripting. But before starting with that, let's have a basic understanding of what exactly is XSS. Cross-site scripting is one of the top 10 vulnerabilities by OWASP in 2017. It allows the attacker to inject some piece of malicious script at client side and allowing the attacker to retrieve users' confidential data. It could even be used by an attacker to bypass access controls. It is basically of three types: reflected, stored, and DOM-based accesses. We'll understand these types and accesses through labs. So let's get started. So we have a lab from Google which was designed to practice accesses and to learn how accesses works. So open the lab, visit xss-game.appspot.com. So let's start with very first challenge. Let me edit. Let's identify the vulnerability here. If I type anything in the text box, let's see what will happen. So as we could see, it is reflecting the input in the response that confirms the reflected cross-site scripting. So type our payload. And as we can see, it triggers an alert with congratulations, you executed the alert, which confirms the accesses. Let's advance to next level. Okay, if I type anything in the text box, let's see what happens. It is storing the entered parameter in the comment box. Now let's enter our payload here and check whether it gets executed or not. So type image src is equals to x on error is equals to alert. Let's click on sign up link and see what happens. Fuck me. Dobara se. And as we can see, it triggered an alert. When I'll create a timer, create timer button. Let's advance to next button. It is taking the value through the parameter. Now let's insert our payload here. Okay. Okay, दोबारा से. Now दोबारा start. If I will type something in the parameter, this parameter, let's see what happens. And as we could see, it is inserting images from the parameter value. So we could exploit it with the payload 1, which refers to the first image, on error is equals to and as we could see, it triggered an alert which confirms the accesses. Let's advance to next level. Okay, as soon as I'll enter any value in the text box and will click on create timer button, it is using a parameter called timer to execute an alert after 3 seconds. Okay, so if I'll enter my payload in the parameter timer, let's see what happens. I'll use 30 to type the parameter payload and just type our payload here. Alert. And as we could see, it triggered an alert which confirms the accesses. Let's advance to the next level. Now let's click on sign up link and see what happens. Now let's enter our payload javascript colon alert 1 in the next parameter over here. As we can see, this is email parameter, but I think exploiting next parameter would be much better. So let's try this javascript colon alert 1. And now as we will click on next value, it will trigger an alert. Let's see. And as we could see, it triggered an alert which confirms the accesses. Now let's advance to next level. Now let's enter our payload at the end of the hash. As it is loading gadget.js, we will load a custom Google JS API which will call an alert function. To do so, we will type the URL of the JS API www.google.com/JS API question mark callback is equal to alert. As we can see, it executed an alert which confirms the XSS. Bravo, we completed the Google XSS lab. Just share your feedback and we are done. So let's share our feedback. So share your feedback, click on well done, and she says share your feedback here. And as soon as you will share feedback, so you are done with the lab. So that is it for the video. Please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you very much for watching the video.